Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the Seven of Wands tonight, which has everything to do with valor. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell and it will let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right. Okay, so I never use this term. I rarely use it. It's not something that comes up in my readings, like rarely in my life, almost never. I don't, except for when I'm watching what they do in the shadows. But we have this bat. And we have just kind of, it looks like this thing has such a grumpy face, okay? And I immediately feel like this is an energy vampire in your life. This is somebody who, if you don't know what an energy vampire is, this is somebody who just every time you come in contact with them, through text, on the phone, in person, they deplete you of like your vital energies, right? They might be really boring. They might have just endless problems. They might be somebody who conflates some of the things going on in their life so that they can get your attentions. They might be somebody who creates a lot of chaos and drama around them to feed off the energy, the negative energy. So I don't really like the term, but we have a bat and it has like such a stink face. Like it just looks, usually I would say this is cute. You are going into the night side and this is fun. I like the bat. But here I just get the energy that, it is somebody who maybe you work with them, maybe it's a family member, but it's somebody you don't have to see that often. You actively avoid being around them, especially alone, because it feels like you get trapped in the situation. I also see that we have a person here who looks like let me get this. I'm slack in here. We have his head or her head, their head, and right here they're holding something up, okay, and they're standing here kind of almost like they're gonna eat it. Now over here it looks like we have a person wearing a crown. They're holding something here. This one looks like it has wings, by the way. It kind of looks like the devil, I guess, is well, and then over here we have, it looks like maybe a princess, a queen, some kind of angelic force, right? And so I was looking at this. It looks like a signature or something, but it also looks like 24. So we have 24 right there. And then up here we have 29. So 24, 29. I really feel like there is this kind of, I don't like that. Well, it is kind of like that image you have of like the devil on one shoulder and the guardian angel, or excuse me, kind of like a fairy godmother on the other. And, you know, I feel like it just takes a lot for you to kind of not absolutely banish this person from your existence. And I feel like it's all kind of like, it feels like it destabilizes you for some reason. And we all have people like this in our lives. Like, a lot of times it's family, but it can also be somebody at work. It's just something about this person absolutely pushes your buttons. And I feel like you are somebody, of course you're a Libra, you're like totally the ultimate diplomat, mediator. You know, I can imagine like, you like doing a lot of service work, or you know, being of assistance to people, helping educate people, being a support for people. But then there's just, you know, a stray few in your life that I don't know, you know, and we all have it. So I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, this energy. And we've all experienced it. So I feel like you kind of like vacillate between really telling yourself like, no, cut them off, just ignore them, be rude enough that they won't talk to you again. And then on the other side, it's like, okay, be empathetic, think about what it might be like to be this person. They obviously are coming from a place of pain or absolute chaos. They're like, you know, a child of Eris or whatever. But I do feel that, you know, you're really good at like going through these feelings and really looking at, you know, what is your course of action here? You know, and I think I can't tell you what that is, only that I know that you'll do the right thing, because I can always trust a Libra to basically always choose the right way, choose the higher path. And so, you know, this might be something that is really kind of weighing on your mind right now. But, you know, it'll pass as these things do. And I think, you know, ultimately, you always kind of come out in a position of learning. So, we also have a person here that looks like they're swinging, and I can imagine, and we have a heart right here too. So I feel like there's a sense of kind of elation, love, romance. Maybe you will be going off on like a little retreat with your, you know, your honey. Maybe this is somebody that you are courting, or maybe there's, you know, maybe there's a time where you are really focusing on, and I like to call it courting yourself, right? Falling in love with yourself, treating yourself as you would treat a most divine spouse, right? And I feel like it could be that you really are taking the time to learn how to maybe speak to yourself in a way that is more uplifting, that is more supportive. The way that you can speak to others, I think sometimes you find it difficult to give yourself the same attention and love. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you are so involved with wanting to help others heal. Others have, you know, a decent life. You're like an advocate, maybe a therapist or a counselor, a life coach. I can imagine these kinds of jobs, you know, for you. And so, you know, I think sometimes you just don't necessarily think about what do you need, right? So I think this is a period of reconnecting, but this also could be, right, that this is a spouse or, you know, somebody that a partner, a beloved one, or somebody that you're courting, and maybe you are in that kind of really Twitter-pated place, right? Just absolutely kind of wrapped up in the enchantment of love, love, love. And that's, that's not a shabby place to be, to find yourself. Now, right below it, wait, where are we at? Yes, right there. And I was thinking of it over this way. But now that looks like the bat too. Here, I want to look at it like this. We have the dragon, okay, and you can see its tail and its body and its head. We also have the same person kind of swinging, that kind of in ecstasy and bliss kind of energy. Turn this way is a dragon as well. So I feel that there's a sense of this being your year in a lot of ways. I feel in the lower realm, the physical world, there will be great advancements. Okay, I feel like there will be also a time of abundant financial gifts. Okay, blessings. And it could be that like you're getting a raise at work, you're getting a new position, but I feel like a lot of this too is like you maybe starting a little business. Maybe you are maybe you're starting a YouTube, or doing something on the internets, right? Having like a Etsy or starting some kind of little kind of side project type of deal that you are going to find some financial some income from, right? Might not be your primary source, but I think that definitely there will be growth here. Okay. And I feel that, where there has been some concern, of course, aren't we all concerned right now with the way that I don't even want to say the word, the economy is. Let's throw some salt. Yes, I do feel like though this is a time where you have low expectations. It's just kind of the energy of things, right? But it's going to be amazing. I think that you're going to do really well. And I feel that also up here in the emotional, this is, just a time where I just feel like there's such a confidence. Like you're coming into this period of your life where even if you're having kind of one inconvenience after another, one difficulty after another, you are meeting them head on. You are not letting yourself kind of succumb to the stress of it all. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you are working on yourself and your spiritual life. Okay. I feel that you are probably a person that has a lot of faith in. Now, it doesn't matter what it is exactly, right? It is individual to each of us, and there is no wrong way. Wherever your faith lies, it is ablaze. And I feel that you trust the universe as much as, one can. And it is providing for you. And you are noticing. And this changes your disposition and allows you to receive the gifts that you really have been waiting on. Okay? But this is happening. This is happening. And And I'm excited for you. I'm excited, I have to say. Now we have a person kind of standing next to a little fire here. We have the fire and we have the person. It looks like they're maybe holding a mask. And we have an arrow going this way. I feel like... I almost wonder if you will be partaking in some kind of ritual, or maybe I keep thinking of things like May Day, right? Or maybe some kind of fertility ritual or celebration, or a celebration of spring going into summer, or the harvest, fall going into winter. And I feel like maybe this is something new for you. But I do feel like, with your faith, you are, I think, open to experiencing a lot of new things. I also wonder if you're somebody who is maybe into, like playing games and stuff, like board games, or maybe you do, like role playing, like, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. But I feel like this is also a time where you are allowing yourself to kind of, do some of the things that you like. And I feel like almost playing games, I feel like it's like a sense of a masquerade of some kind. But it's enjoyable and it's a good outlet for you, I think. I think that you like maybe trying on, the suit of somebody else once in a while. And that is something that, you find in, I don't know, what's the word? Entertaining, fulfilling in some way, which I think is awesome. I've always wanted to be somebody that liked playing games. I have ADHD, and I don't know if it's like because of, there's just something about, I get a lot of dread when I know something is going to be going on for a while. like if Monopoly starts, I'm like, oh my gosh, how long is this game going to go? So, I don't know. I just have never really gotten into games too much. But I've always wanted to be like a gamer person, or, a board game person, or whatever. I've been invited to like, join little like board game nights and stuff. And I would be off on a tangent every 5 seconds. So I don't know. But I think that's really cool that you... Seems like I feel like every Libra I know, not every Libra, but I feel like the Libras that I know are people that have really kind of vivid and intricate and interesting interior lives, very much like world builders. And I think that kind of can spill over into playing games and things. Now I'm looking at this. What? We have a quill, okay, like a writing quill. So I wonder if you are journaling. That's usually, we're writing. Maybe you are a letter writer, which another thing that I've always envied. It's funny when I read, I don't read a lot of long form books anymore. I've always tried to, force myself, and it takes me a long time to read a book, but I read a lot of poetry, and I am a huge nerd for for letters, like collections of people's love letters and correspondence and stuff. I don't know what it doesn't feel hard for me to read, but I do. I envy, I love, I have an adoration for letter writers. And again, another thing, another thing that I've always, maybe I will become one someday. So let's see. You are an expressive with your words. And I'm just trying to, this one reminds me of a pickle for some reason. I'm gazing upon just to see if I can see something else. But it feels like a pickle, like something to do with pickle or pickling. Maybe a grandmother. We also have a dog. Now, the dog feels like an actual dog. Maybe one that is from the old days, when you were young. And I feel like I almost feel like it's a grandmother and auntie. And they pickle. We also have a bee. I almost feel like they're just busy all the time doing stuff. You know, they like cook from their whole foods and cook from scratch and, you know, grew up around them, processing the harvests and everything. And I feel like that's something that partially has remained with you. And I think, I almost imagine you like thinking back to these times that you spent with them, maybe like in the summers. You know, just kind of watching them do all these things. And I think it's, you know, it's kind of kept you as somebody who has projects often. Now the dog, though, I feel like the dog has been visiting you in dreams maybe, or you've been thinking about them lately. Maybe you're considering finding a dog. And here's my little thing. And this comes up because somebody asked me the other day about TT. Please adopt. adopt. All of my animals, and I don't know, it's always my whole life. Even as a kid, we never had dogs or cats that were bred or anything. I don't know. Somebody asked me for the breeder information for TT, our Sphinx cat that visits the readings. And, you know, I'm not in judgment or anything, but I just, you know, I have always adopted. And TT is a rescue. She's not technically a rescue. I was fostering her for somebody who could not take her. And I had her for, you know, they couldn't take her back when they thought they could. And so anyways, I kept her. She was my baby, obviously. So, you know, we've been a family ever since for all these years. I think it's been 7 years now. And so, you know, I don't judge, but I do. There's so many animals out there that just, you know, I do have to mention, is what I was going to say, please adopt. But I do wonder if you're thinking about an animal, a companion, you know, to kind of have that love again, you know. And I think that if you do, this will be an animal that is a beloved to you, like this puppy or dog that you had when you were a kid. You know, and we can have animals that we love, but we don't connect with them as much as some of our other you know, fur babies. And so, you know, it can feel like you'll never have that connection again, but I do think that, you know, this next beloved will be just that, the beloved, the beloved animal companion. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this indigo sage. deck here, affirmation cards. I got some water on there. And we have, it is the air element. Okay, I have all of the little element ones. We were doing the earth last time. Now we're on air. And I'm just going to flip through until it feels right. And that's really pretty. I like these colors. I like the colors on this deck a lot. It says, holy yes to all of you. Experience yourself from a new ecstatic perspective every moment. Yeah. Yes. I like. All right, Libra, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you for spending this time with me here tonight. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the reading, the video, it really does help the channel so much, or so I read. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. What else? If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. And I'm going to ask you, I am getting ready to get my garden going here pretty soon. We have such a short grow season up here in the upper Midwest. So it has to be executed precisely. So it's got me thinking about what all are you guys growing? What are your favorite plants to grow, or flowers, or vegetables, fruits, herbs, what have you? And what tips do you have? I'm always interested. I love the tips from people who just, they know what they're talking about. You know, I've obviously, like everybody else, gotten on the internets and looked up, you know, how do you do this? What does this mean? You know, so on and so on. But it's often, I mean, you know, and it's always been true like this. The people who are doing the dang thing, they know. They've been doing it for years often, and they're devoted. Gardeners are usually devoted. You don't just kind of begrudgingly keep a garden. I mean, unless, you know, you have to, or somebody is... you're helping, right? And that's, it is kind of my daughter. She does like being out there with me, but she only for a few minutes. Now she's only about 4. She's almost 4. But I even remember last year she would sigh and be like, but Mom, I want to play with the hose or whatever. But yeah, once you're a gardener and you have a garden and I mean, that just, it's a little piece of heaven, right? And I love it because everywhere I go out here, a lot of people garden, and it's like the ultimate way to connect with people. And I love asking people about their yards and their flowers and this and that. And so if you have any tips, please bless us with your wisdom. And yeah, I don't know. Anybody that lives in like the colder regions, I forget what zone I'm in. I almost think that we're in zone 6. Let me look real quick. I'm looking into fruit trees, and I really am interested in anybody that's like in the northern. I'm typing it into the thing so I can see where we're at here. Okay, so I'm in zone 4. Yeah, zone 4, sometimes 3. So if you are in, you know, like Canada or even Alaska, if you have any advice about fruit trees, besides apple trees, because apple trees definitely grow really well here. But I'm interested. I'm from Northern California, where everybody had fruit trees in their yards. And, or at least a lot of people did, even though I was in the valley and it was really hot. But here, you know, like citrus trees and stuff don't do the best. So I want to get a few. I'm gonna keep, every time I think about it, I'm like adding more into my head. I want to get a few trees going, hopefully. They will take hold. So if you have any advice, I would appreciate it. And so I'll stop rambling about gardening. And I thank you and I love you, Libra, so much. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a few days from now. Good night.